Welcome to Turning the Ordinary into the Extraordinary. Today is going to be a husband takeover. Tommy's going to show you how to create a copper pipe table. We've made this craft project before and it turned out really, really good. So we needed to do it again because it's Father's Day soon and it will make the perfect gift for his dad. So these are the items that you will need for your project.
Okay, so first thing we're going to do is measure out all of our pipes and cut them. I'm going to cut these using what is called a tubing cutter. This is a cobalt one and it goes up to 3/4 inch for our pipe. This is the easiest way to cut pipe. Sometimes Home Depot or Lowe's has a pipe cutter, but the one we were in today, it was broke, so whatever. But I'm going to use, I already had one anyway laying around the house. They're about $10 or so. They're really handy for if you're going to do any other plumbing projects. So first thing we did is I measured this pipe out to 14 inches and cut my first one to 14. And what I'm going to do, instead of measuring my second one, I'm just going to even these out and then mark it so I make sure I get the pipes the same size, because it's more important for this to have them the same size than have an exact measurement, because it might wind up wobbling if you're not careful. So I've put a little mark on it, and then I'm just going to line my tubing cutter up. This tubing cutter is really easy to use. You screw it down and it kind of has a little wheel here that cuts the pipe. So you just kind of screw it down just a little tight and just go around in a circle. Spin your pipe around in a circle for a couple of times. Then you just tighten it a little more. It can be a little tricky to get it just so. So I just tighten it a little more. Run it around another couple more times. Tighten it a little more. And then it cuts it. And then after all of my pipe are done, then we're going to start gluing them all together and screwing them to the wood round. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is start putting together our base. So I'm going to start with the 17-inch pipes, which are longer pipes. And I'm going to glue them together with some E6000 glue. You can probably use super glue or whatever, Gorilla Glue, whatever you feel like using, if you got some already around the house. We prefer E6000, so that's what we're going to use. So we don't need to use a ton of glue because we don't want it like squirting out. So on these, the pipes sit inside of these, so we're just going to run this around the inside a little bit. And the glue doesn't dry super fast, so you don't have to be in a huge hurry. So we just kind of run it around and then just stick it in as far as it'll go. And just kind of spin it around a few times just to get the glue good and worked around. So I've got my 17-inch pipes glued to my T's. So what we're going to do now is put this middle pipe on. And what this does is this will keep our finished project from wobbling. So our middle pipe we're using is a 1/2 inch pipe. You could use a 3/4. I'm using a 1/2 inch. I already had the 1/2 inch laying around. So we're going to put this in the middle here. And what this will do, this will keep our legs from wobbling around and will help the table be a little more sturdy. So we're just going to glue these together, and that helps us set our base. So we've got these screwed together. Looks like this. Next we're going to put these 6.5 inch pieces on. That's going to make up our bottom. And we're going to put the 90s on those as well. Our 2 6-inch pipes on. And now we're going to put the 90s on the bottom. Same thing as the rest, we're just spreading some glue around in here. Just putting them on. Make sure they're good and straight, because this is what's going to sit on the floor. Okay. Now we're going to go on and do the rest of the base. Now we're going to put our 2 15-inch pipes to make up our base with the elbows, and then this is a 10.5 inch piece to go across on the bottom. So we're going to glue these all together. Another tip as I'm doing this I might mention is these labels can be kind of hard to get off, because they're not really, this is made to be plumbing, it's not really made to be furniture. So I'm going to use some Goo Gone or some other adhesive remover to get this label off so that it's not very noticeable. So, okay, for the base it's best to put the elbows on our cross pipe first and then put it on. So it just makes it easier to put them all together that way. Okay, so we're gluing the elbows onto our 10.5 inch piece here, and then we're attaching it to the base. And just press it down real good and firm. And that basically has our base. Now we're going to assemble the top part that attaches to the wooden round, then glue it all together. It's still a little wobbly, but that's okay. It'll strengthen up as it dries, as the glue dries. Now we're going to assemble the top. So we're going to take 2 15-inch pipes to attach them to the elbows and our 10.5 inch cross piece, just like we did the bottom. And then once that's all glued together, we're going to put 2 more elbows on this end and screw it to our base. Okay, so we've got our 15-inch pipes glued to the elbows and our 10.5 inch pipe which goes across. Now we're going to glue these 2 90s on the end and then glue them to our base. Okay, so we've got our elbows glued on. So what we want to do is kind of put it flat on the table and just kind of make sure everything's kind of good and flat, because they have a tendency to get a little askew as you're gluing. And we want to make sure that these 90s are good and straight. And then we're going to attach it to the top. Okay, now we've got the top attached to the base, and we just gotta make sure we get that pressed down and evened out good. And it may look a little askew, but we will even it out a little more when we screw it to the base, because that'll get it good and held down. So now we just bring our base over, flip it upside down. We used a round from Home Depot or from Hobby Lobby. They're the same. The one at Home Depot is a little cheaper. It's just a pre-cut round. It's really nice and smooth already, ready for staining. So what we did is we took it and I stained it with a coat of special walnut Minwax oil-based stain, and then put a coat of polyurethane on top of it. You don't have to do that. You could leave it plain if you want. You could just stain it. We just wanted to put the poly on it in case we wanted to set a drink on it or something like that. Okay, so we just turned it upside down, and we're going to take our base. This is the top, so we're going to turn it upside down and set it on our thing. Okay, so we've turned this upside down and set it on our round, and we're just I'm just going to kind of even it out, get it kind of where I want it, and then I'm going to attach it to the top with these pipe straps that are for 3/4 copper, and just screw it down. I only wound up needing 5 of these straps. I have 6, but I think we only need 1 here at the top, so 5 should do it. I'm going to bend down here because you can see me around the thing. These straps come with little nails, but they're a little too long for this project, so we're just going to use some little 1/2-inch screws and just screw them down. I'm using a drill. You could use a screwdriver if you wanted to. Just drill's much easier. Okay, now it's all done, all glued together. So we're just going to let it dry overnight. But here's what it looks like. And this fits perfectly under your couch for your laptop, or drinks, or chips and salsa, or whatever you want to put on it. So while we let it dry tonight, we're going to store it on its back like this so that it doesn't get a lean to it. That way the glue sets good and straight.
Your dad's going to love this. You did a really good job. Thanks for watching Turning the Ordinary into the Extraordinary. I'm Carolyn Braden, and this is my husband, Tommy Braden. Bye.
Visit Carolyn'sBloomingCreations.com.